Let's dupe some pricey spring decor because we want the high-end look, but we do not want to pay those exorbitant prices. In fact, we are going to be saving ourselves thousands of dollars today. Our first look for less is this MacKenzie-Childs Rosy Check Trophy Topiary. Just look at how beautiful this topiary is. I love the size, I love the color, and I love the detail on it. Do you guys want to take a gander at how much this beautiful topiary is? It is $999.95. That is way too expensive for me, no matter how much I like it. So we are going to get the look for so much less. Now, I've actually had this topiary on my mind for quite a while now, so I've been looking for alternatives as I've been out shopping, and I found a solution at the Dollar Tree. I have a Dollar Tree that's got the $5 section, and on these shelves were some stacking eggs. The light bulb went on and I knew that they would be perfect. You can get 2 color tones of these stacking eggs. You can get the white one, which is what I got, but you can also get some pastel eggs. These eggs are very large and I love the raised diamond detail on them. The texture is going to work out beautifully in our design. I purchased 2 of these stacking eggs because we're going to be creating 2 topiaries. So for the cost of both of these, it was only $10. So we are off to a great start. Now we are going to start decorating the bottom egg first. Now in our inspiration piece, you can see that it's got this basket weave stripe design in this beautiful pink tone. Well, we are going to do something similar, but I am not going to paint it on. What I'm going to do is use some ribbon. If this ribbon looks familiar, it's because I used it last week. We created a custom ribbon and I used this beautiful pink velvet ribbon in that. I purchased this ribbon at Michael's. It's the perfect width and color for our topiary. So what I'm going to do is hot glue the end of this ribbon to the top of the egg. Then I'm going to run a line of hot glue diagonally down the egg. Because of the diamond design on these eggs, it almost acts as like graph paper. So we've got a grid and we know exactly where to glue the ribbon on. Thanks to this, I'm able to keep my lines straight and spaced out evenly. So hooray for the fact that I don't have to measure anything out. I just have to follow that raised pattern lengthwise down the egg. I spaced it out so 2 diamonds were between each of the rows of ribbon. I added these ribbon lines down the entire circumference of the egg. Because we are creating a basket weave design, I need my ribbon to now go in the opposite direction. So I just simply repeated that same process. I just hot glued the ribbon to the top of the egg and ran a line of hot glue diagonally down the egg. Again, I'm just spreading the ribbon out 2 squares apart from each other. And at the end of the ribbon, I cut it and I hot glued the ribbon to the bottom of the egg. That way it stays secure. I finished up adding the ribbon the opposite way. And now I'm completely done with my ribbon basket weave design. On our inspiration topiary, you can see that there's these little gold round beads or grommets that are at the intersection where the ribbon overlaps. So we need to come up with a solution. And after a lot of debating and a lot of thinking, I found these gold tacks. Just these plain old regular gold tacks. These are going to do double duty for me. Not only are they going to look beautiful on my topiary, but they're going to be able to hold that ribbon in place. So what I did was I simply just pressed these tacks through the ribbon and directly into the egg. And since the egg is plastic, it went right into it. You do have to apply a pretty decent amount of pressure, but the tack definitely goes through the ribbon and the egg. And like I said before, not only is it pretty, but it's going to help to make sure that the ribbon doesn't slide around. Even though we glued the ribbon, the tacks provide extra holding power. Once I was finished pressing the tacks into the intersection of the ribbons on my first egg, I moved on and did the exact same thing on my second egg. I'm getting so excited with the way that our egg is looking. We are off to a great start. Now let's move on to our middle egg. Our inspiration piece has some pink squares. It looks like they were painted on. I'm sure they probably were for that price. We are gonna do the exact same thing. So I got some pink craft paint and a paintbrush. Now I don't have squares, I have diamonds, which is okay, that's pretty similar. I can paint the pink paint in the indents of the diamond pattern easily. Once I got done with my first row, I stepped back and I looked at it, and I didn't like it, you guys. It looked very juvenile to me. It looked like we were going to a little girl's birthday party or a baby shower, and I wasn't getting that high-end vibe. So I quickly wiped off the paint before it started to dry. We are now going to start with a blank slate, and we are going to revert back to what I know and love, which is gold. I love gold. I think it's classy. So I have this metallic gold craft paint that I purchased at Michael's, and we're going to use this instead of the pink. So round 2, I'm going to get my paintbrush back out, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, which is just paint this gold paint on every other diamond. I'm doing it in a subtle way. I don't want this to be saturated in gold. I want it more of a soft accent color tone. This part does take quite a while because there were a lot of diamonds, so turn on some music or one of my videos and just get to painting. I am loving the way that this gold looks. It's so much better than the pink. You can always switch things up when you're doing dupes. That's the fun part. All you need to do is have some kind of an inspiration piece, and then you can customize it to your own liking, like I'm doing with this middle egg. I'm swapping out the pink to gold. Once I was finished painting the diamonds on my first egg, I moved on and did the exact same thing on my second egg. Once I had painted all of the diamonds gold, I let it dry for 1 hour. Now it's time to decorate our top egg. In our inspiration piece, you can see that the stripes on the top egg are very smooth. Now that's a problem with mine because it has a textured surface. So I don't want to paint on those stripes because it's going to look really bumpy and wavy. What I'm going to use instead is some ribbon. Let me grab it really fast. It's right here. Look at how pretty this satin ribbon is. Oh, I just simply love it. And it's going to be smooth. So this is going to be a perfect alternative. What I'm going to do with this ribbon is I'm going to hot glue it to the top of our small egg. And then I ran a line of hot glue diagonally from the top to the bottom. Then I pressed the satin ribbon into the hot glue. Once I got to the bottom of the egg, I trimmed the ribbon and hot glued the ends so it would stay in place. I repeated this process with the second stripe. I simply just glued the ribbon, and I like the way that my stripes look. They are classy, they are smooth, and they look high-end. I repeated that process with the second small egg. I just hot glued the ribbon to create 2 stripes on our egg. And now we have our bottom, middle, and top eggs decorated beautifully and ready to be assembled. Well, almost ready to be assembled, because if you look at our inspiration piece, you can see that there are some dividers in between each of the circles. So I need to find a solution for that. So when in doubt, I always just head on over to Hobby Lobby. They have some great options to choose from. So I headed over to the wood section, and of course they have my favorite wood rounds. I use these all the time. So I got 2 of the larger wood rounds, and then there's also a package of 2 that are some smaller wood rounds. So these are going to be great dividers. The last thing I need is a finial to go on top. So I went 1 aisle over, and they had 2 finials that are going to be a perfect substitute. They're the great size, and I love the detail on these. What I'm going to do with all of my wood pieces is take them outside, and we are going to spray paint them gold. I'm going to start by painting the underside of the wood rounds first. I'm going to be using some gold Rust-Oleum spray paint. I painted the large rounds first. I'm also painting along the edge, and the finials are going to get a full coat of spray paint. Once each of these pieces had been completely saturated in the spray paint, I let them dry for 1 hour. Then I flipped them over and sprayed the rims once again, and also the top surface. I painted each of the 4 rounds in the spray paint. Once they were fully coated, I let them dry for an additional hour. All right, you guys, we have everything we need to create our topiaries, so let's assemble it. We're going to start by placing our large egg down first. Then I'm going to get my large gold wood round. I'm going to add hot glue to the top rim of our large egg. Then I'll take the large wood round and place it over the top. Next, I'm going to take my middle egg, add hot glue to the bottom of that egg, and then press it to the wood round. Next, I'm going to add the hot glue to the top of the middle egg, then take my smaller wood round and press that to the top. Next, I'm going to take my small egg. I run a line of hot glue around the rim of this egg and pressed it to the wood round. And finally, I took my finial. I added a whole bunch of hot glue to the bottom of the finial and then pressed it to the top of the small egg. Once I was finished with my first egg topiary, I moved on and assembled my second egg topiary in the exact same order. Now we have our 2 spring topiaries that look absolutely fabulous. Okay, you guys, look at how cute my topiaries are. I cannot tell you how much I love these. What I'm gonna do is take them and put them on top of these white urns. Not only does it elevate it height-wise, but it elevates it in an elegant way. I've got the 2 topiaries that are going to flank my mirror, and I actually have this dining room completely decorated for spring. We've got our tablescape, and the pink on the topiaries coordinates so beautifully with all the pink that we have on the table. I think that these look so pretty and classy in the room. I love the gold sparkle and shine that comes from the gold tacks on the bottom egg, and the satin ribbon above is classy and elegant. I also love our dividers of these wood rounds and the finial at the top. The gold ties in so beautifully, and it was a cheap, easy way to achieve a similar look to our inspiration piece. Let's look back and remember how much our MacKenzie-Childs topiaries cost. They were $999.90. If we were going to do 2 of those, it would cost $1,999.90. Let's calculate all of my costs. After adding everything up to create 2 of my topiaries, the grand total was $43.19. I like that price so much better. So we saved well over $1,950 by creating our own. And you guys, I absolutely love my topiaries. They look so beautiful in this dining room. And we definitely got a big bang for our buck. One fun fact about me is that I love to bake. We bake all the time in our house. My problem is I don't have time. That's the biggest drawback. Well, I found a solution, and it is this wild grain bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisan pastries, fresh pastries, pastas, all kinds of things. Now, Wild Grain uses bakers and pasta makers across the country to keep the tradition of our artisanal and nutritious food alive and well. You can customize your very own box. What I have in mind is sourdough bread, snickerdoodle cookies, Parmesan herb biscuits, croissants, and of course the only thing that can make a croissant better is a chocolate croissant. And I also have some pasta. So I've got all kinds of items in my specific box. Shows up to your house, everything's frozen, you stick it in your freezer until you're ready to bake it. And it goes from your freezer to the oven, and everything bakes in less than 25 minutes. So you can have a dinner out on the table in no time. These products are made with clean ingredients, so I know I'm feeding my family healthy items. So let's just take a minute to appreciate all of these baked goods, and I can't even tell you how amazing my kitchen smells right now. But I've got these snickerdoodles that are literally the size of my face. I love snickerdoodles, and all I needed to do was take the dough, put it on a parchment-lined baking sheet, and pop it in the oven. And you guys, these are delicious. They are so good. The cinnamon on these, oh my goodness. The sourdough, I mean, the smell alone is just absolutely stunning. Look at how beautiful, and the crust on it is sensational. Of course, we've got our croissants, and look at how beautifully they puffed up. And we've got these delicious Parmesan herb biscuits, and they go perfect with the pasta. All you need to do is just put it in a pot of boiling water, let it boil for 6 to 8 minutes, and you'll have a delicious plate of pasta in no time. When customizing your box, you can choose a classic box like what I did, but you can also go with a gluten-free box. You can do vegan, you can do dairy-free, egg-free, so you can find a box that will fit your dietary needs. I will leave a link to Wild Grain in my description box, and I also have a code for you that will get you $30 off your first box plus free croissants for life. That's a good deal. So head on over to Wild Grain and check out all the amazing items that they have for you. Now, as you can see, we have this dining table set and ready for a spring party. So I'm going to show you exactly what we have on our table. I've got, of course, a beautiful neutral tablecloth, and then I have this runner that's going down the center. This runner has a beautiful damask design, and it's got a nice soft pastel blue that I just absolutely love. Each of our place settings have a gold charger, and then I mixed and matched some different dishes. I've got some plain white dishes, and then I also have some beautiful blue dishes, and they have hydrangeas and all kinds of other beautiful spring flowers on them. These plates are so pretty, and I love that we have a different variety out on our tablescape. For our cups, I have just our plain glass goblets, but you guys, guess what I found as a second smaller cup? Look at these cute little pink glasses that I found at the Dollar Tree. They have a lot of their spring decor out right now, and I loved these glasses. I walked in, I saw them, and I thought, yes, this is exactly what I need for my spring dining table. And for $1.25 per cup, that is such a great price. So if you're looking to get some different kinds of dishes for different seasons and holidays, check out the Dollar Tree because they have some very affordable options that definitely will enhance your seasonal decor. If you are looking for home decor on a budget and you're ready to decorate for spring, then you have come to the right place. I post weekly, sometimes 2-a-week videos on Monday and Thursdays, and each video is budget friendly. It's got some great ideas and inspiration so you can decorate your home on a budget. I've got so many fun spring videos planned. I also have a whole bunch of parties coming up. I'm going to be hosting a baby shower this weekend, and then we're also doing the open house for Ellie and Mac in 2 weeks. So if you guys want some kind of inspiration for spring, if you want some party ideas, make sure that you're subscribed so you can join in on all of the decorating fun. For my centerpiece that I'm going to place on top of my runner, I have all kinds of white ginger jars. And you guys, all I did was take the lid off, and then I got just plain bouquets. They have bouquets on sale right now at Hobby Lobby for 40% off. I didn't have to do anything. They're already bunched together, and I'm just gonna place them right inside of our ginger jars. I have 2 of them that have the flowers in it, and then I have 2 that still have the lids on, and then I've got this gorgeous white floral arrangement in the center. For a rectangular table like this, I like doing a long centerpiece because it takes up the majority of the space. And the way that you can do that is by adding a whole bunch of smaller pieces that when put together, when they're grouped together, they create one large centerpiece. So if you don't have one large centerpiece for a dining table, get a couple of different smaller ones, group them together to create one large display. Since we're in the dining room, I figured let's do another dupe that will enhance each one of our place settings. We are going to make some adorable bird's nest napkin rings. The inspiration came when I was on the Michaels website and I saw these cute spring napkin rings. I love the little nest and the eggs that are inside. For a set of 2 of these napkin rings, it's $14.99. Which isn't outrageous, but I know that we can create some for so much less. Now, in the past, I've actually used some shower curtain rings to create napkin rings, and I've gotten them at the Dollar Tree. Well, I wanted to up the classy factor just a little bit in here because we want an elegant dining table. So while I was at Hobby Lobby, I found some wood rings that were in this section that has all the supplies for macrame. This set of 6 is so classy, so beautiful, and very affordable, which is what we like. Now, as an alternative, I also saw some keychains. You could totally use those as napkin rings as well. They had a large package of these at Hobby Lobby. So there's a lot of different options that you can use. Okay, so now we've got our rings. We need some nests. They've got all kinds of spring decor out at Hobby Lobby right now, but I actually didn't find my bird's nests in the spring section. I found it over in the wedding section. I found a package of 3. These nests had the eggs already attached, so I picked up 2 of these packages. I also need some greenery, and happy day for me, all of the flowers and greenery are 40% off. So I found a bunch of greenery that will mimic our inspiration piece so good. It was only $5.99 plus 40% off, so that is a great deal. And I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. We're going to be using this greenery in our next dupe, so it's going to be doing double duty. I love items that help me save money on multiple projects. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is assemble our napkin rings, and it could not be easier. All I'm gonna do is take my napkin ring and add a whole bunch of hot glue to the top. Then I'm going to press the center of my bird nest to the napkin ring. Then I cut just a couple of these little branches from the big bunch. I am going to use 3 stems of greenery per napkin ring. So I took that greenery and I pressed that into the hot glue. This part does get a little bit awkward because you've got to wait for that hot glue to dry. So you've got to hold everything in place for about 30 seconds to a minute for that hot glue to dry. If you let go right now, everything's going to fall off. Next, I moved on and repeated the process of hot gluing the bird's nest and the greenery to the wood ring. This process went by so quickly, and in no time I had 6 bird nest napkin rings. And now we're done with our adorable, absolutely adorable spring bird nest napkin rings. And now all I have to do is just take it and slide it right through my cloth napkin. Oh, look at how cute that is, you guys. Oh my goodness, I can't think of anything more adorable. So each one of our place settings is going to get a napkin. Just going to place it right on top of our bowl. This was such an easy and affordable way to theme each of our place settings into spring. If you remember, our inspiration piece was $14.99 for a set of 2. So if I were to purchase 6 of these, it would cost me $44.97. After calculating all the costs that went into creating my 6 napkin rings, the grand total was $10.86. That's such a great deal. If you're looking to dine in style this spring, creating your own napkin rings is a cheap, easy way to do that. Would a dupe video be complete without a gorgeous floral arrangement? I don't think so. I found this beautiful hydrangea floral arrangement in a stunning blue and white chinoiserie inspired bowl. Oh, I simply just loved it. I love hydrangeas, but I also love blue and white. So this floral arrangement really spoke to me. However, it didn't speak very kindly because look at the price of this one, you guys. It's $980 for this arrangement. Now, don't get me wrong, it's large. It's about 25 inches across, but you guys, $980, oh my goodness. So we're gonna try and do much better, which I can tell you right now we did. Now, a couple weeks back, Ellie and I were shopping at Home Goods, and a lot of their items were on clearance. One of the pieces that I found was a huge blue and white ceramic bowl. I took it out, I examined it, and there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. I couldn't believe my good luck. I actually purchased a couple of items from the clearance section this day, and those will be coming up in future videos. So I did get a lot of great deals on this particular day. Now, not only is this bowl beautiful and large, but you guys, the price of this bowl was only $15. This was such a score. Not only is it similar to our inspiration bowl in design, but it's just as large as our inspiration bowl as well. So we've got our bowl, now we need our hydrangeas. Now you guys know that I've been at Hobby Lobby and that all of the greenery and florals are 40% off. I found a bunch of white hydrangea. This bunch has several stems and plenty of white hydrangeas, and of course it was 40% off. These hydrangeas look so realistic and they are definitely high quality. They will look beautiful in our arrangement. They also had some stems of green hydrangea. This green shade is just perfect. It's subtle, it's not a bright in your face green, it's a classic green. So I picked up 2 of these light green hydrangea. In the past, I have talked about having your star flowers that take center stage, and those are the ones that you put in the front. But you also got to have some supporting background characters, and that's where the Dollar Tree flowers come into play. I have 2 stems of white hydrangea that I purchased at the Dollar Tree, and then I also have 2 stems of these green hydrangea. The green hydrangea match almost perfectly to our more expensive Hobby Lobby hydrangea. These Dollar Tree flowers are going to coordinate beautifully with the more expensive Hobby Lobby flowers that we bought. They are going to stay in the background, but they are definitely going to be there to fill up our arrangement and to support our larger, more beautiful flowers. Now we also need some greenery, and as you saw earlier, I picked up a bunch of that greenery that we used in our napkin rings, so we're going to use that greenery in this arrangement as well. We are going to be creating a tape grid to go across the top of our bowl. We are just going to be using some Scotch tape. This is cheap, easy, affordable. You can buy it anywhere, and it definitely cuts down on the cost of using floral foam. So I just ran a few lines of this Scotch tape horizontally and a few lines of the Scotch tape vertically to create a tape grid. The tape grid is perfect. It will keep our flowers upright and hold them in place. I'm going to take my bunch of white hydrangea and bend the stem, press it into the tape grid, and then fan out the flowers. I'm fanning them out because the flowers in the inspiration arrangement are in different areas, but I also don't want to cut the stems. I want it to stay in one bunch, so I'm just going to fan them out and spread them out a little bit. Next, I got my green hydrangea. I bent the stem and placed those in the tape grid as well. Now that my showpiece florals are in place, I'm going to take my Dollar Tree flowers and place those in the tape grid as well. The goal here is to mimic the inspiration piece as closely as possible, so I just put these hydrangeas in similar areas as our expensive floral arrangement. Next, I'm going to take our bunch of greenery and I'm actually going to clip the stems off because we need them to go in different areas in our arrangement. I use my floral cutters and cut the stems. Then I place these stems of greenery throughout the arrangement. And now we're finished with our Look for Less hydrangea floral arrangement. Look at how huge this is, you guys. It is massive. I think my favorite part of this arrangement is the bowl. That was such a great find. And blue and white are elegant and timeless colors. So not only does it look beautiful in this arrangement, but I can definitely use it in plenty of other decor in the future. I'm actually going to put this down because it's really heavy. So I'm just going to place it right in between my tall topiaries, right in front of the mirror. This arrangement could be a centerpiece to any dining table, side table, or coffee table. And let's talk about the hydrangea. Even though we did spend a little bit more to get the higher end flowers, I'm going to be able to use these in so many different projects because we didn't do anything permanent to them. All we did was bend the stem. So if I want to use them in another project later on, I can take this arrangement apart and use those flowers again, and no harm has come to those beautiful flowers. And I cannot believe how similar my floral arrangement looks to our inspiration floral arrangement. If you remember, this arrangement from Windward Home cost $980. That's a lot. And then after calculating all the costs that went into creating my gorgeous floral arrangement, it only came to $42.80. That is such an amazing deal for the floral arrangement that we created. I'm going to put them side by side and you can see how similar they are. It's difficult to tell the difference between them. One of the reasons why I love duping high-end pieces is because I enjoy showing you that you can live beautifully and you can do it on a budget. No matter what your budget is, you deserve to have beautiful pieces in your home, and you also deserve the peace of mind that comes along with knowing that you didn't spend an arm and a leg to get those pieces. All you need to do is find a piece that you love that you want to create for less. The world is full of beautiful things for you to dupe, and if you've run out of ideas, you can just borrow mine. You can create some egg topiaries, some bird nest napkin rings, and a gorgeous floral arrangement. I hope you got some inspiration or some ideas today, and make sure you're subscribed so you won't miss out on any of the fun upcoming spring decor that I have planned. I'm so excited. Well, I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.